Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft, and I am happy to say that in my 23 years of life, I have outlived a lot of people, okay? a lot of them have been born before me, one person in particular I have outlived recently. A lot of Twitter has outlived. That kind of wasn't the best person, but that's the thing, Sometimes those people freaking die, man. They have complicated legacies, and yeah. Oh man, I mean, it's not like I wasn't the biggest expert on Henry Kissinger, but yeah, Drew, good. It was a nice thing. It was a nice Twitter uniting thing. Like, I feel like you just have to celebrate those things. You just have to celebrate the times when Twitter just unites and is like, the timeline comes together to celebrate something. Like, was it the riverboat, the Montgomery riverboat brawl? Like that one was one. Like, what is it? Trump getting COVID. Oh my God, what is the zombie villager? Oh my God, I have diamond armor, man. No, well, diamond boots. Yeah, sometimes you just have to celebrate those moments that unite Twitter. Trump getting COVID was one. What else was another one? I'd assume just the 2020 election in general. I don't know. Even though, like, with the state of politics being so polarized, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times Twitter is like, in terms of like the timeline coming together, it's usually that the majority of Twitter is a bunch of progressive, like leftist kind of people, I mean, at least that's what I've been seeing. I don't know. I would assume it can be easy to have your Twitter experience not like that, but yeah, obviously, right? I guess I am somewhat in an echo chamber, about issues. So yeah, there you go. Someone died at the ripe old age of 100. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I just live. Yeah. The most important thing is that Jimmy Carter outlived him. That's the thing. That's the angle of it that I am loving about that. And also recently, Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman Supreme Justice. Justice of the Supreme Court. There you go. Who, she died at 93. So, Jimmy Carter outlived her, and then Jimmy Carter outlived his own wife. Yeah, Rosalind, who was 96. Yeah. And Jimmy Carter is currently in hospice. Yeah. I don't know, man. How long is he gonna have even, I don't know. There was a tweet that I saw that said that they feel like, he might not, be around for much longer. I mean, it's hard for me to, dispute that, I don't know. It's kind of somewhat of a, grim way to start this episode. But not when someone who is, like, objectively not the best person, passes away, right? Like, that's fine. That's the thing, like, I'm just glad that you can have peace, man. Like how you're supposed to react when someone dies, but they were your ops. The friggin' I went to my greatest hater's funeral image. Oh man. Sometimes you can show respect. You don't have to show that much respect. You can just be like, rest in peace. There you go. That's it. There doesn't need to be paragraphs explaining like he had a complicated legacy. It's like, if you don't like someone and then they pass away, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess it's different. I'm talking about different things. I don't know. like this is like someone who's, committed war crimes, Oh yeah, the other angle of it is Anthony Bourdain, a cool guy I've talked about in previous episodes. He had a whole paragraph talking about Henry Kissinger because he, I don't know, his record involves like freaking bombing Cambodia, like leading the charge on that. All of the stuff associated with the Vietnam War, where it was like the U.S. just, mishandled so many things, right? Yeah, Henry Kissinger was responsible for that. Like all of the horrible foreign policy decisions in like Latin America and like in Palestine too, right? There was a Palestine rally and then they learned that Henry Kissinger passed away and they all cheered, Like that's the extent to which he freaking had his hands in so much of like foreign policy, American foreign policy in particular, and basically it was just all negative. Like, I mean, I don't think it was all just bad and horrible. Oh man, what's I gonna do? Oh man, I played this game before I recorded, and then I wanted to record, but it just ended up, yeah, I thought I could continue my progress since it's the Xbox One, but whatever. Yeah. I was just cooking some food. I was just like organizing my inventory. So anyways, yeah, that's talk about your one of the most hated freaking human beings for Twitter. And then someone said Twitter needs to find a new like most evil person to like root for in terms of them dying. Clarence Thomas, I mean, he could be one. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's that. What about what's going on? What's going on in the NBA, man? What's going on? Do I even need to talk about things? Yeah, the Detroit Pistons, they have lost 16 games in a row. 15 games? No, 15 games in a row. Or yeah, they're on a 16-game losing streak, and they went winless in the month of November. 0-15. And the funny thing about it is that the Pistons coach, Monty Williams, he basically was going to like take like a break from coaching after he got fired from the Suns, but it was that he got like a massive coaching contract, right? That makes him easily the most highest paid coach in the league. So he's just like, I can't deny that money. I guess I'll just freaking coach for another year. Yeah, and the funny thing is that 2 years ago, in November of 2021, when he was still coaching the Suns, that was the Suns team that went 64-18. Yeah, and they didn't lose in the month of November, and then 2 years later, he's coaching a team that did not win a single game in the month of November. I don't know. What's the problem in Detroit? Some people, people on Twitter are saying it's Cade or something. Some people, I don't know. Maybe it is the coaching. I don't know. Like, there's no way they can't. There's not that much of an excuse for like a 16-game losing streak, man. Like, it should have been broken at some point. Even the Grizzlies, who are bad, right? Yeah, they won their latest game against the Mavs without Luka, but the Grizzlies have won like a couple more games than the Pistons. They don't go on 16-game losing streaks, man. I don't know. Also, hit it not as talked about. I talked about Wemby, after his 2 brilliant games against the Suns, outplaying KD down the stretch. But yeah, since those 2 games, the Spurs have also been on a massive losing streak. I think they're up to 13 or 14 right now. Yeah, I checked the schedule today. Their latest loss was against the Pelicans, I think. Yeah, so there's that. The top of the West is surprisingly the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, that's the thing I forgot to talk about. I forgot to talk about that the Timberwolves were the number 1 seed. I think they were like surpassing the Nuggets in my last episode when I was at the time that I was recording that. So yeah, the Timberwolves are the number 1 seed in the West. The Celtics, I think, are the number 1 seed in the East. And surprisingly, in the East, the Orlando Magic, they've been on an 8-9 game winning streak. Oh man, yeah, could it translate? Could they make some noise in the playoffs? Who knows, man. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, anything else interesting going on? Because I might get into the Twitter segment, but I don't have stuff bookmarked, I have a couple things bookmarked. I don't know. I'll find things to talk about, like I always do. It's weird because whenever I want to record one of these, I feel I'll have so much to talk about, and then it just by the time I get to recording, it just all leaves my mind, man. It comes to me sometimes, sometimes I'm in a great flow state, but yeah, a lot of times I just forget a lot of what I want to talk about. Yeah, it's all just stuff where it's do I need to talk about this stuff? Oh yeah, I forgot another really good team in the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're doing pretty well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an MVP candidate. You know, I don't think he's the leading candidate, but you know, it's up there. And also, side note on this MVP freaking talks, man. Oh my god, dude, I am like being exposed more and more to freaking Sixers freaking Twitter accounts, and it's like, please, what are we doing here, man? Oh man. Like, I understand, like, sticking up for freaking your player, but like, do we really need to be doing freaking Embiid versus Jokic comparisons after what has happened last season? Like, do we need to freaking, like, what are we doing here, man? Do we need to be freaking doing these things? Like, I don't know, man. Oh, man. Yeah, there's been increasing, like, animosity towards Joel Embiid, too, right? From non-Sixers players. Or no, well, non-Sixers, just, you know, Twitter in general, and non-Sixers NBA Twitter. You know, there's been multiple, like, video compilations going around I've been seeing of just him just, like, being the biggest free throw merchant in existence, you know? Literally just 7-foot James Harden. But he's good at it, though. That's the thing. He's good at it. Who's to say, man? Who cares if you get your points from free throws, man? Who cares, man? Who cares? He does get fouled, I would assume, on some of them, but yeah, they're just like egregious like examples where he just like he doesn't even get touched, and then he just like flops to the ground. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And that's the thing. Like, a lot of players flop, but you know. Like, he's just one of the players where, like, you can point to it. He does it more. I mean, like, come on, man. I don't know if you point to the raw numbers, like, it can be proven, but, like, come on. Maybe there are some cases where the eye test is good enough, you know? Maybe there are. Maybe this could be one of the cases. Oh, man. But, yeah, the Sixers are doing really well. Like, they, as of me recording this tonight, they just lost the game to the Celtics. But a funny thing is that they were without Maxey. Yeah, they were out without Tyrese Maxey, and they were without Joel Embiid. And so in their place, Patrick Beverley scored 25 points in this current game. And in this latest game, the Sixers played against the Celtics. I'm like, whoa. If friggin' the Sixers were gonna win that game, Patrick Beverley would have to be interviewed, man. Oh man. Oh god. There's also a good video I saw just a bit ago where someone just had every Patrick Beverley jersey. He was his #1 fan, and then like at the very bottom layer, the very last layer was just a shirt that just says like I love Pat Bev or something, or like I don't know, something like indicating his fandom. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like I am like a pretty big fan of him. I don't know. If you like know his story, did I talk about this before? Yeah, basically, yeah. He was on this, like, sequel to, if you know the documentary Hoop Dreams, yeah, it's like on HBO Max, I would assume, you know? It's on YouTube for free. I would assume you could just find clips of it if you look it up. But, yeah, it's about these two inner-city Chicago, like, teens who, like, you know, have hoop dreams, but, like, you know, they quickly, they over the course of their high school basketball careers, they get disillusioned with basketball, and they just, you know, it's a really good documentary. It's like 3 hours, but, you know, yeah, Roger Ebert said it was his favorite movie of the 1990s. But apparently there was a follow-up to it in the 2000s called Hoop Reality, and it followed Patrick Beverley in high school. And, like, he was, like, really good in high school. He averaged, like, 30-something points a game. But, you know, like, his story is that he had to, after he got drafted in, like, 2009, you know, same draft class as Steph Curry, like, he had to play overseas for, like, a couple seasons before he actually got a shot in the NBA on the Rockets. Yeah, there's a whole history. It all comes from, like, secret-based videos. He, like, he dove into like Russell Westbrook's legs, and that caused the beef, you know, the whole thing. And then they ended up, and if you know recent history, they ended up on the Lakers. Oh, I cannot avoid creepers, man. I cannot avoid them. They ended up on the Lakers. They're like real close now. He beefs with Chris. He is beefed with Chris Paul. I don't think that beef has been resolved. Oh man, but yeah, I guess all this is just to say that, like, I'm a pretty big fan of him, man. I don't know. I kind of like just his whole story, and, you know, he can be annoying at times, but there's not much he can do on the court to make me kind of dislike him, you know, or turn me off of him. But all that is to weirdly transition into a thing that I'm only gonna reference. There has been something an NBA player has done in recent times that might turn people off. I'm not gonna say who, man. I'm not gonna say who. People are just gonna have to guess. But it's related to another team I mentioned previously. I'm not even gonna like go up to it. I'm not even gonna go up to the wall. If you know, you know. It's a situation. I have no idea. I don't know. It's the whole thing. I'd rather not freaking touch upon it. Oh man, I hate being coy with these things, man. But I don't know. I feel like it's somewhat my sense of humor. It's somewhat. I don't know. With book drama, I'm never really that freaking coy about things. And anyway, yeah, what book drama has there been recently? Someone posted a screenshot of a line from Light Lark, and it just said, she ran like she was running from something. Oh man, yeah. Oh man, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a published best-selling book, you know. But I assume there's a lot of, yeah, not a lot, but like there are probably some instances of just, you know, bad prose, you know. I was wondering, yeah, I remember, yeah, a few episodes ago, I was talking about like what do people consider, what do these Twitter people complaining about prose in YA books or like bad prose in books, like what are the examples of good prose and bad prose? And I would assume she ran like she was running for something is an example of bad prose. I would assume it is. I would consider it, yeah, not the best line. I don't know. You would look at that line when you're writing it and you're like, yeah, no. Maybe you would keep it in like a 0 or first draft, but yeah, beyond that, I would assume that line just kept, that line was still there through all those revisions, if there were any. It's fine, man. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. What is there to really discuss there, man? What is there? Oh man, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think there's really much like other book stuff to talk about. I haven't been reading that much. Yeah, it's just it's basically just, you know, there's a bit of pressure on me to freaking complete this semester, you know. I do take freaking education as a precedence to reading, you know. Sometimes they intersect, but yeah. Yeah, I've just been a little bit busier in that regard. So, in terms of this series, I wanna, yeah, this is episode 79. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. This is episode 79, so I think for the end of the year, yeah, I think at the very most, or, well, at the very least, I wanna record at least one more episode. I don't know if I'll like make a cutoff, you know, because that's what I did last year. Like, even though I could have like recorded like more episodes, like around like Christmas time or like around the New Year, I don't know. I just decided I was just gonna cap it off at episode 50, and I recorded. Well, if I get to episode 80, I'd have recorded 30 episodes, so I think that's a good place to leave it for the year. That's over doing once every 2 weeks, yeah. So that's pretty good. And yeah, that sets up that I'm going to hopefully reach 100 parts of the series in 2024. Hopefully in the first half. I would like for it to be in the first half, but I guess from the rate, it would be like 2 turds, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just I'll record these faster, man. I'll do like once a week, yeah, or like close to it. I could do that. I definitely could do that. Yeah, it's usually like Friday, you know, it's like the most common day where I choose to record one of these. Yeah. Yeah, and my recent 2 videos haven't been Minecraft. They've been, they've been other games. I don't know if you call 5 Dates a video game, to be honest. It's just a movie, but you just press a button once every freaking 5 minutes. It's cool, you know? Dating as a video game, cool. Persona 4 is a game, though, yeah. Yeah. if you want context on Persona 4 and like how I am going to play it moving forward, I don't think I'm gonna be the most. I don't think I'm gonna be the most honest in terms of how I play the game. You know, not really cheating, but like, you know, I don't know. If something gets hard in the game, I do not want to freaking spend multiple attempts trying to get past a boss or a dungeon or something. Like, I'm gonna shift some things around, okay? Like, I'm too busy for this. I'm too busy for this stuff to happen, okay? Oh man. Anything else in terms of what personal updates? Yeah, December, of 2023. I guess I should, my Spotify Wrapped like sucked, man, because I barely use Spotify anymore. Again, I use last.fm to listen to Scrabble music, and I listen on an app that isn't Spotify, so. But, for the little that I did listen on Spotify, like The Naked and Famous and Two Door Cinema Club ended up in my top 5 artists, and surprisingly enough, I was like looking through it, and then on one part of the story it said, hold up, there's someone on the other line, and then I got a message. I got a freaking special message from The Naked and Famous. Man, I got a message from Alyssa and freaking Tom of The Naked and Famous. I think, are they the only 2 members of the band? I don't know. They were more than 2 on their first 2 albums, but I don't know. I don't know since then. But I got a message from them. Yeah, surprisingly. I was like, damn, they were contacted by Spotify to like leave a message. I don't know. I just found that surprising. I didn't even like listen much on Spotify of them either. I don't know. I just found it still hard on Spotify, and then just listened to a few songs like a few times, but that's really it. Yeah. And for Two Door Cinema Club, I was listening to their latest album because I don't own it yet. I don't own it yet on my phone. So yeah, that's how I've been listening to it. I want to like listen on Spotify more. Yeah, I guess to do a little music thing. I've been listening to a few new bands. I've been listening to this emo band called Equipment. They're from Ohio. They have a Filipino American lead singer, I think. Yeah. They're pretty cool, you know. I like the first song off of their latest album they released is called, was it Alt Account? Yeah. The first song on it's called Hot Young Doctors. And it's like in the middle of the song, it cuts to like I would assume the singer, like the guy, like giving a presentation about the Sega Genesis. Yeah, the Sega Genesis versus the Super Nintendo. I don't know, man. Like, why do emo bands do this? Like, what? I just kept on thinking, like, what is the point? What point is this supposed to illustrate? Like, what point is it supposed to illustrate that, like, in the middle of you singing this, like, kind of, this romantic song, like, you're just like, you cut to you giving a presentation about the Sega Genesis. It's like, I don't know. That's the thing about emo bands that like get me, man. I don't know. I was also listening to this band called Hot Mulligan. I've heard of them for a while, yeah. They released an album this year called Why Would I Watch? Yeah, it like the titles are just like what you'd expect from fifth wave emo album. Song titles. Just like a bunch of like random like words strung together, basically. Yeah. I guess in terms of other music I've been listening to, well, new to me, yeah, like new discoveries. It's rarely ever like new music, but I was listening to At the Drive-In, Relationship of Command. Yeah, dude, One Arm Scissor Man, really freaking good, man. I really, also the opening song, was it A Carcinal? Like, I love how it just has it's basically like math rock tinge, like hardcore music. Yeah. It's like really, it's really heavy, but it's like really good also. I've also been listening to The Avalanches. I think like, they remind me a little bit. Even though the Go Team came afterward, right? I listened to the first 2 songs off of Since I Left You. And it sounds a little bit like the Go Team. Yeah. Like I think like the Avalanche's thing is that they make like music that uses a lot of samples and like draws from like, old. It's not like indie rock per se. I don't know if they would be labeled as indie, but I think yeah, they draw from like old like music, older music from like the 60s, 70s, like I would assume like older soul, funk, R&B, I would assume. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's a little bit of what I've been listening to. Yeah. Anything else in terms of music, man? Yeah. Yeah, I guess like maybe the last episode I'll record for the year, I might have like a top 5. I think I'll probably like put up top things from this year. But I don't know, I haven't really engaged with much like current stuff from this year, man. I didn't watch Oppenheimer or Barbie, I didn't watch Spider-Verse. I don't know, man. I only read one book that was released this year. Yeah. Oh man, and yeah, I listened to a few albums from this year, but yeah, in terms of like discovering new music, it's not as much. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to get to some stuff, man. I would like to get to certain things. I was thinking recently that December of this year, like, after I get done with, yeah, I'm in the final weeks of my school semester, so once I get done with that, I'll get to a bunch of stuff that I put on the back burner for the year. Just like quickly, but yeah, I guess there's a few Netflix series I want to watch. One in particular. Oh man, I talk about the series all the time, man. I don't know. Should I talk about the Hunger Games? Yeah, should I talk about the Hunger Games and how I've been seeing so many people like have this renewed interest in it and talk about it? Yeah, did I even talk about that last time? Yeah, I've talked about it a few times. Of just like having nostalgia for the Hunger Games, I guess. I guess, did I put my own personal kind of spin on it, I had a tweet about it where I wasn't like I've never had a phase where I was into the Hunger Games. And I guess, looking at it now, it's kind of cool seeing a lot of people, just like be in this fandom, I guess. And like, just, yeah. Have like, since there's a new movie that has come out recently, that people are like posting new like content associated with that, and like posting more of their opinions on the Hunger Games and like the shipping of Katniss and Peeta, I guess. I don't know, I haven't read it. I don't know if Gale was supposedly better. I don't know if it's similar to a love triangle in another book series I love. And like, there was a really good tweet where it was like a picture of the Hunger Games map. It was a picture of the map of the US, and it was, I guess it's like in the Hunger Games universe. Yeah, because in my very limited knowledge of the Hunger Games, there are 12 districts, I think. I don't know. There are however many districts, and like each district is like, sectioned off, and like the tweet was just a map of that, and like a visual representation of that, and like it said, what district would you be in? And I just saw that, oh, I live in San Diego, I live in like the southwest edge of California, I wouldn't be part of this. I would be exempt from the Hunger Games. I don't know, so I'm sorry guys, but I don't really know, I don't have to volunteer as tribute. But like District 12 is like, what, West Virginia? It's like West Virginia, Ohio, so it's like the Appalachian region of the US, I guess. And then someone quote-tweeted their response to it being like, the Hunger Games world building sucks, man. It's like so bad. It has some of the worst world building I've seen in fiction. How the hell do all of these freaking regions only produce one freaking resource, man? Or something. And then some person with even more knowledge of the Hunger Games than that person, I would assume, is like, that's the whole point of it, right? Like, the whole point is that it's a dystopian society, and the totalitarian government in charge only wants to make it so that there's one freaking resource available per region or something, per district. in order to control the population somehow. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Yeah, and I've also been learning about how the Hunger Games, like the whole story behind the Hunger Games, has the idea for the series for Suzanne Collins. She was inspired by seeing the Iraq War and like America's reaction to it, right? And like, yeah, like that's basically like what gave her the idea, which, you know, very, yeah, I think it's very obvious once you, it's obvious to connect the dots on that one, yeah, especially with what's going on now, right? Like seeing people being desensitized to certain things and like the whole concept of like manufacturing and consent of the people. I think Noam Chomsky talked about it, I don't know. Yeah, so, yeah, that's basically, yeah, there's a lot of other tweets about the Hunger Games, I don't know, about, was it Rachel Zegler, who plays Lucy Gray, and like memes based on her holding a microphone and like singing like the Ballad of Songbirds of Snakes has some like songs in there, like original, they're like songs and ballads are a part of the story, I would assume, based on the title. Coriolanus Snow, the evil guy, I would assume. Oh man, I don't know, it kind of makes me want to read the Hunger Games, you know. And yeah, I have read another classic YA novel from like, you know, 2012, 2013, that like era, but yeah. I guess maybe, yeah, the point of this is making me be like, maybe might be interested in reading the series soon. I don't know. I mean, I can get the books probably pretty easily. It's just, yeah, on-thrift books or just borrow them from a library. I would assume every freaking library in America has freaking one of the Hunger Games books. I'd assume that's a required thing. Along with one John Green book, at least. That's the rule of every like library in America which has a section for teens. That's the, yeah, Joe, you have to have at least one of the Hunger Games books on your shelves. Oh man. So that or just that, any other dramatic freaking thing happen in any other aspect that I would like to talk about? Do I want to make a point about anything else? Oh man, I don't know. There's stuff concerning Halle Bailey. Should I talk about it? I feel like I'm just out of my depth with just so many other things, and I probably should not talk about this stuff. Yeah. I don't know. People are like, some people have been sharing the sentiment of like, yeah, because Halle Bailey is pregnant with this man, DDG. Like, and like people, yeah, it's a case of Black Twitter in particular not liking Halle Bailey's baby daddy, you know, similar to like Keke Palmer, but I don't know if it's an exact one-for-one comparison due to like what we know about Keke Palmer's, you know, ex-boyfriend or whatever, but some people have been saying things like Halle Bailey and her baby daddy kind of deserve each other with the way they've been acting or something, or so, like Halle Bailey has fooled people into thinking she's this like innocent freaking girl. I don't know, man. I feel like it's harmful to even like yeah, speculate or like I don't know. It is just the stuff I've seen, man. It's just some of the tweets I've seen. I don't know. Yeah. I do not have an opinion on it, man. I'm not too informed on it. Oh, man. I guess in terms of other things I didn't talk about before, there's this guy called Keith Lee, and he's like an influencer who like goes to restaurants, and that was another issue. Like he went to a restaurant in Atlanta, and then he didn't like the food or something. He gave a negative review, and then it was controversial. You know, people were like, why would he freaking do that, man? Why would he do that? But, you know, like, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, that was a controversy for, like, what, a week or two? You know, I think it was happening on the same time the oyster stuff and the Cheesecake Factory stuff was happening. It was basically a controversy at that same time. So oh man, yeah, basically he got backlash for giving a critique of giving a too harsh critique of a restaurant in Atlanta. But, you know, I guess, like, looking into him, well, learning more from just tweets I see on the timeline. He, like, goes to local restaurants. He, like, boosts the profile. He's, like, very influential. Yeah, he is an influencer on TikTok who's very influential in terms of, like, giving restaurants more attention if he decides to go there and, like, talk about the food and stuff. So, you know, his powers, I would assume, like, yeah, most people have been saying that his powers have been used for good. He's been, like, really good in helping businesses, restaurants get attention and, like, get more customers. So that's good. Yeah. I don't know friggin', like, Guy Fieri or Adam Richman have done that. I don't know. For me, like, I didn't grow up watching Anthony Bourdain. Yeah. Like, I always thought that No Reservations was a show on Discovery back then, but I never watched it. I want to watch more of it now, and I've watched Parts Unknown, but yeah, for me it was like Man versus Food. It was freaking it was seeing, like, this guy Adam Richman do a bunch of freaking food challenges, like eat freaking what, like 10 hot wings, like 10 of the hottest freaking wings advertised in a certain part of the country, right? And, like, he would do these, like, food challenges, you know, like eat a whole freaking 72-ounce steak in freaking only an hour and a half or something. Like, eat this whole, like, egg, you know, huevos rancheros big ass plate or something, like, finish it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, him doing, like, food challenges like that. There was one challenge where he had to eat oysters. I remember it. It's in the, like, it's like in the opening of, like, the episodes. Yeah, it's in the opening of the show. I don't know how many oysters it was. I think it was more than 48. Yeah, it probably was like 72 or something. How many oysters he had to slurp down. Oh man. So that was the thing I'm most nostalgic about. Yeah, I guess I'm just wondering, like, have they, like, what's the data of, like, them boosting the profile of restaurants that they talk about? I think I remember he went to this barbecue place in San Diego. Yeah, that I went to. Also, yeah, that's I guess. But, like, Guy Fieri too, diners, drive-ins, and dives. Like do the diners he goes to, like the dives, the drive-ins he goes to, do they receive, like, a bump from, like, him featuring it on the show? You know, is it comparable to what Keith Lee is doing? I don't know. I also don't know, like, if Keith Lee is choosing, I would assume he's choosing more, like, mom and pop restaurants. Yeah, that's also another point of discussion, like, what restaurants is he going to? Is he going to more, like, hole-in-the-wall mom and pop family owned places, or is he just going to places that are already, like, established as, like, this is the cool spot, this is the cool restaurant, you know, and just, like, you know, just giving you know, a restaurant that already has enough attention more attention, rather than versus, like, giving it a restaurant with almost no attention, like, a bunch real fast. I think it's more of the latter. I think it's more, it's more of he's going to the local restaurants with less attention than, the other way around. So, I don't know. Oh, man. I really wish I was the type of person to want to go to more restaurants and stuff. I think, like, a few years ago, pre-pandemic, I was maybe that kind of person that was like, yeah, because I don't care about eating at restaurants alone. I don't really care. I don't need a group to eat at a restaurant, but I don't know. I think it's probably just the hassle of eating at a restaurant, ordering at a restaurant, and, like, you know, I don't know. Lately, I've just been, like, concerned with groceries, man. I've been concerned with, like, whenever I shop for food, I want to get something that I can either cook today or cook tomorrow, and, like, have food for today or tomorrow or the next day or for the next 2 days. That's basically it, rather than going to a restaurant. And that counts fast food too. But on the other hand, like, I have been DoorDash and Uber Eats, man, have been just a curse, man. The amount of money I have spent, even if it's like $20 each time, right? Even if it's like $20 or just under $20, it's insane, man. Like, I have to freaking change that for the next year. I'm trying to. Yeah, I haven't been going to McDonald's, by the way. Yeah, I since, like, what, November started, I haven't freaking ordered from McDonald's once. I haven't been there once. Haven't eaten any of their food once. So, you know, Yeah, I'm willing to do that, like, for just an extended period of time. I'm willing to do that for as long as I have to. I don't know. I don't need, yeah, obviously. Like, there's been, in terms of, like, not McDonald's, but with Starbucks, one of the boycott targets for supporting Palestine, right? It's like, there have been some people being like, but I need caffeine. I need it to function. It's like as if Starbucks is the only avenue. It's like, I need caffeine. I need it so bad. It's like, like, oh man, I don't know, man. Like, what is stopping these people from just getting instant coffee and drinking it, or just like a bag of freaking coffee beans if you have a coffee maker? It dude, like, come on, man. Like, going to Starbucks, man, it's that essential to your life? Like, really? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's the whole thing. Yeah. There's also another I guess, thinking about Starbucks. It's an interesting discussion of, like, you know how people, like, go to Starbucks to work and, like, they bring their laptops out, you know? It would be, it's a thing where, like, for a lot of communities, for a lot of places, Starbucks is the only, like, place to hang out outside, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing people have been talking about on Twitter sometimes, like talking about how young people are so alienated or something, or how young people don't go outside, right? Like, an explanation for that, one explanation for that could be just like, there's just less places to go, you know? Like, it used to be that, like, teens would hang out around the mall, but, like, I guess there's the mall if you want to hang out there. There's, like, a Starbucks, you know? And, like, a Starbucks is, like, one of the very few places in a bunch of, like, towns, or like in a bunch of towns or like communities where, like, you can, like, go other than a library, you know? And that's the thing, I feel like, yeah, because, like, obviously Starbucks would like, weed out, like, a bunch of, like, small, like, cafes, right? Yeah, that would be the thing. I guess maybe that's what people are friggin' saying, right? It's like, if I need a friggin' place to go to get coffee, right, I have to go to Starbucks, man. There's no other friggin' coffee shops available. Man. Or just being too lazy to just, like, look up anything else, or just, like, make coffee ahead of time. I don't know, man. I guess some people are really picky. Like, they specifically need, like, the drinks from Starbucks. They need the freaking 2 shots of espresso with the cream that's, like, basically a milkshake. They basically need, like, a juiced up milkshake, man. They basically need that in the morning. Oh man, I don't know. I've never been that. Yeah. I think, like, during, like, the recent years for me, like, in college, I guess, as a student, like, caffeine, I guess I've used caffeine a little bit more, like, but I don't know. In terms of me, like, the way I view caffeine is, like, it's a thing. I know that if I drink it, I'll stay awake for longer. I have a good chance of staying awake for longer. Yeah, there's also energy drinks, but yeah, I'm not really fond of those. Yeah, I've basically sworn those off. Yeah, there's a time in, like, 2019 where I drank energy drinks that had, like, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Like, that wasn't a really big period. It was just only like a 6 to 8 month period. But yeah, now it's just like I just drink, like, Coke Zero, and that has caffeine in it. If I guess I need caffeine, I just, like, make coffee. Because I have a coffee maker in my home, I guess. But just, like, people's, like, reliance on it, man, I don't know, man. Some people need to break that. Yeah. And, like, the whole needing a place to hang out. Yeah. We need more. Yeah, it would be nice if there were more local cafes, or just, like, places where young people can hang out, Like, how many, like, what, like, is the like, the spot, is, like, the like, the song Meet Me There Spot by Willow Smith and someone else, like, like, how many of those spots are even here today, in today's, like, cities and, like, suburbs for just, like, teens to hang out, man? Like, do teens just hang out in parks? Like, where are the places where, like, teens can hang out without, like, fear of, like, authority figures, to be honest, right? Or just, like, the fear of like people being like, oh, you can't be here. I don't know, like, you know, where did it go? Like, that's the thing. And like the answer is probably like online on Discord in Call of Duty or something, right? Yeah, like that's the place, like hanging out online. And it's not, yeah, it's not outside, it's inside, you know? Like that's like the place where like a bunch of teens can hang out, you know? I don't know. I guess I'm not really here to make any like declarative statements or like we need more of these. Yeah, it would be nice if we did. It would be nice. I think we should. I think if I were to have a declarative stance, going back on it, yeah, no, I am making a declarative stance that we need more like spots, places for young people to hang out. You know, it would be nice if more of those existed. Bring back teens hanging out at malls, just not doing anything, right? I don't know. I guess like also, I guess for me, like it's also a bit awkward, you know. I think there was like one time where I hung out at a Starbucks and like because I think I was like I want to hang out at a Starbucks and read a book, and I did that, and like I did that when I was like 17 16 or 17. I only did it like once. I ordered a drink, and then instead of small, medium, or large, you know, they use venti and freaking tall and like grande, but I didn't know that, so I'm just like large. There's a really good scene in the anime Watamote where like the main character she just sees G in terms of like sizes, and then she just says giant. I kind of felt like that, yeah. It's a bit, yeah, I would assume baristas have to deal with that for people who don't know the names of the drink sizes. It's also just dumb, too. It's like, I wanted venti, I wanted grande. It's like, oh, come on, man. Who cares, man? Venti is bigger than grande. Grande is like medium, right? Right? Oh, man. Tall. I don't know what tall means. But yeah, there was like one time where he like went to a Starbucks, ordered a drink, and then read a book. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it could be in a Starbucks. Because I would just be like, you know, I ordered only one thing, you know, like I would assume there are people there who open their laptops and then like don't buy anything, you know, but I don't know. It's like, that's the thing. That's why libraries are just much preferred. I don't know. That's why I just love libraries a lot more. More people, I guess maybe if we made libraries the place where teens hang out, you know. Yeah, and often like they don't really do that. I don't know. I feel like libraries are a good answer to this question of like where the place is, you know, young people can hang out. But I guess like there's somewhat an expectation of you have to be quiet. You can't like be too raucous, you know, but I don't know. You know, for a bunch of like quiet freaking kids, you know, for a bunch of just nerds maybe who don't want to be too rowdy, they can go to a library. I don't know. Anyways, did I talk about enough? I talked about enough, right? Yeah. Anything else in the NBA? LeBron is still freaking doing it at age almost 39, man. It's insane. It's insane. Jokic, man, can he be the MVP again? Can he freaking two-peat and then miss one? Maybe because, you know, voter fatigue, but maybe because Kendrick Perkins put out the hit. But, you know, can he freaking go back-to-back and then take a year break and then get a third one? Can he do it? Could it be Giannis? You know, Giannis is putting up really good numbers. The Bucks have kind of figured themselves out, but their record, even though they have a good record, they haven't been looking too impressive. They almost lost a game to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers were up 26 points at one point, or like 32 points at one point. Jordan Poole on the Wizards, he just keeps on being just like one of the most hilarious basketball players. Just doing just random ass stuff, man. Like what is he doing? What is Jordan Poole doing on a basketball court? Oh yeah. How did I freaking forget about this? Possibly one of the most important basketball related stories. We've found Angel Reese. We've found her. Angel Reese is back with LSU, okay? There's no need to worry. I don't know what happened, but it's probably best not to speculate, though, right? I remember, like, at the very end of last episode, during the Twitter segment, I was like, what? This is, like, an interesting case. Like, what's going on with Angel Reese? I think the reason is, I think, like, the most like common like explanation I think there's been is that she got suspended for probably due to like a grade related issue, right? And that was what got like Flage's mom and Angel Reese's mom beefing, right? And I guess, that was like the issue. And then Angel Reese came back. Yeah, but like, Kim Mulkey, yeah, dude, I don't know, Kim Mulkey, man, she's yeah, the way she just casually joked about frickin' like having COVID, man. It's like, I'm not, I think it might be COVID or something. I might have spread it to you or something. Like, what is with her, man? Like, I don't know. Kim Mulkey is just, yeah. All I'm gonna say is that I hope Angel Reese, I hope this is her last year at LSU, man. Yeah, the 2024 WNBA draft class is looking, I don't know, assuming that like Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese all like, graduate and like move on. Like, I don't know, man. It's looking like it's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah, people have to be paying attention to women's basketball more, especially like in the next year or two, man. it's gonna be some great stuff, man. Oh man, especially with how like WNBA Twitter is growing with like the Aces fan base, right? I don't know, it's gonna be fun. Oh man, it's going to be fun. So I guess that's basically it, man. Almost an hour. I've been going for, oh man, it's gonna be a longer one, I guess. So if I can find some tweets and stuff to talk about, here is the Twitter segment. Okay, first tweet I am reacting to. Someone posted yet another freaking one of these. It's not Flynn. The image is not Flynn from freaking Tangled, but it's just like, what's an opinion that'll have you like this? And it's just like everyone's wrong. I don't know. And just like I'm annoyed at a lot of these because it's like a lot of the things, the point of it is supposed to be like you need to share an opinion where you saying it is gonna get a lot of people angry at you, and then like they proceed to freaking just say a thing a lot of people are saying and agree with. It's like, okay. But someone said, oh, it's not even specific, it's just that what opinion will you defend like this, and it's an image of someone just going at a crowd and being like, yes, you all are wrong. And then someone said, anime dub isn't that bad, you're just obsessed with Japanese voices. Yeah, I guess, it gives me an opportunity to talk about anime. Have I been watching any anime recently? Gundam Witch from Mercury, I finished that. Horimiya? Yeah, Horimiya. It's a romance kind of show from like a couple of years ago. It's really cool. I like it. Yeah. I was basically watching it as a palate cleanser from Witch from Mercury. Not that it was bad, but just like I needed something to balance out kind of how heavy the show was, yeah, just like not really from I don't know, like an emotional, yeah, mostly from like an emotional perspective. I do that anyways, where I like watch just like a slice of life show when I'm also watching something that's not a slice of life show. But yeah, do I have any opinions on anime dub versus sub? I think a lot of it is kind of just I don't know, for me personally, I watch anime subbed like 80% of the time, like possibly like 85% of the time, but there are just shows where it's like it is better dubbed. Everyone says Cowboy Bebop, yeah, that's objectively right, but also like shows like, yeah, Samurai Champloo, or like the most recent one I like that I really enjoy dubbed, yeah, Michiko and Hachin, yeah, Ergo Proxy I enjoyed dubbed, just like shows where I don't know how to describe. There's just a certain like brand of show where it's probably better like if you see it dubbed, like like, yeah, I think like, yeah, my thing is like, yeah, it's not a hard and fast rule, but like if an anime is mostly like a slice of life anime, right, and it's like heavily like Japanese, as in like about Japanese school life, you know, like you should probably watch it subbed, you know. I guess like, yeah, well, I guess that's my rule, you know. I guess I shouldn't enforce my rules on everyone else. This is just the rule for myself, you know. I want to watch it subbed, you know. But if it's like an anime where it's like the style is more like the appeal of it, right? Like Samurai Champloo, or like, yeah, there's this anime called Panty and Stocking, and like it's made by Trigger, and it looks more like a Western cartoon. Like that makes sense to watch dubbed, you know. There's this anime called like Kids on the Slope that Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy who was behind Cowboy Bebop, made, and like it's about like jazz in like the 1960s. Like that to me seems like a show where you would want to like watch it dubbed, and I did see it dubbed, even though it somewhat breaks my other rule of like if it is more of like a slice of life type show. I don't know. Yeah, basically those are like my rules. There's also this other show called Beck, yeah, which like I watched it subbed, but like it basically like is also a dub too, the sub, because like a few characters are like half Japanese, and like they've spent time in America, so they speak English some of the times too, right? And like I just really liked hearing like the English spoken in that show in the subbed version of it, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess like everyone will have their preference, man. It's like it's fine. It's fine if you like freaking watching like anime dubbed. Yeah, I saw another tweet where it's like, you know, like people don't like dubs because like they realize like how corny the freaking dialogue in Japanese like translated to English actually sounds, right? Yeah, it really is true, man. Yeah. Also, like in terms of like bad shows that you should see dubbed, yeah, there's this infamous one, Ghost Stories, but I feel like the appeal of that wears out like really fast. It's very of a different time, so beware of that. Like it's not gonna be how we say PC, culturally appropriate 100% of the time, but yeah, I don't know. It's like if you really want to like hear natural Japanese people speaking in conversation, I think like Terrace House would be one where like that's like actually like Japanese people speaking like without any exaggeration, because even in like live action Japanese shows from the ones I've seen, it's somewhat similar to anime where it's like a lot of it is just so over the top and like how they act, you know. You know, that, yeah, if you want to see like people having actual real conversations in Japanese, you should watch Terrace House, you know. And it's another instance where I just miss Terrace House so much, man. Anyways, I guess that's my opinion on dubs versus subs. Another tweet reminding me of what I forgot to get to. Someone tweeted, Derek Chauvin didn't get stabbed enough times for me. Yeah, it's been a week, man. It's been a week. The end of November, like, has been a week for celebrating certain things. Oh, man. Yeah, that being another one of them. Derek Chauvin got stabbed in prison. Is there really anything else I need to say about this? It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it sucks for him. Anyways, I guess this is an interesting thing to talk about. Someone posted just a picture of a quote, I think. It's something. I don't know. It's just a bunch of text on a white background. Suddenly, it's December, and you're not 17 anymore. And you haven't been 17 for a very long time. But sometimes you need to remind yourself. Do I need to remind myself that I'm not 17 anymore, man? I don't know. 17-year-old me would not be able to do this, okay? Like, I'd be able to play Minecraft, but just not, like, do this at the rate that I'm doing it, okay? I don't know. I did talk about it in the early episodes. I did make a couple YouTube videos in 2017 when I was 16, but yeah, they just did not work out. I'm glad they're not on the internet and they are nowhere to be found, but I don't know. Can I put out, yeah, like best English major here? Like, what does this mean, man? I don't know, just like, yeah, remembering, like, oh, I am getting older every day, yeah. Everyone is, man. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Sometimes you turn 100, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm approaching what, 7 years that I haven't been 17. Oh man. Yeah, and then someone quote tweeted, when I was 17, I worked in a mall food court, even though I was on TV a few years prior, and a very famous child star came to the food court and saw me and said, what are you doing here? And I had to tell him wearing a visor and an apron that things didn't really work out for me. Like, is that like, what is it? Frickin' Devin Werkheiser from Ned's Declassified, you know? Yeah, like, he talked about, yeah, him just going to high school regularly after Ned's Declassified ended, you know? And also, on that topic, that podcast that I talked about is still going, where, like, yeah, like, Ned, Cookie, and frickin', like, Mose, you know, like, their actors are still frickin' talking about the show. And I think they've kind of moved away from talking about it, and they've had even more kind of clickbaity titles, you know, as expected. I would assume, like, they want, I would assume they want attention on their podcast, but, like, yeah. In one of them, there was a clip posted of, like, sharing the intimate details of, like, Ned and Mose's relationship, because, like, Ned and Mose, who was it? Yeah, Devin Werkheiser and Lindsay Shaw did date during the show's run, like, a little bit, and then oh man, it was about Lindsay Shaw and Devin Werkheiser talking about certain acts, you know, I don't even, yeah, like, you know, 2 letters. I mean, I don't know, man, I don't know, yeah. I mean, I think I conceptually know that, like, you know, BJs are things that, like, happen in middle school sometimes, but, like, I don't know, man. It kind of puts it into perspective, man. It's just some things, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything else. I don't know. Yes, I'm not 17 anymore, man. Yeah, I was 17 when I first started freaking college. I'm still in it. I don't know. Is that something, you know? Like, yeah, I think, like, me being 17 was really, yeah, like, that was the age I was really, that things started to change for me. I feel like the things that happened when I was 17, a lot of them that happened to me are the reasons, like, why I'm freaking here today. So, yeah, I guess. What a nice spin on it. There you go. I needed to remind myself of that. Thank you, random tweet. I am so glad this got brought up. Someone was brave enough to tweet, Twitter in 2020 and 2021 was funny as hell. And in response, someone posted a picture of something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna download it right now. I'm gonna save this image, man. Yeah, I'm gonna save this image and just, like, post it here. Someone, this is, like, a thing I remember so distinctly. Like, again, this a specifically Black Twitter phenomenon. It's a picture of, like, a tweet conversation that happened at the end of 2020. A very, yeah, I don't know what I was doing at the end of 2020. Just yeah, nothing good. Nothing really good. I was, like, on my webcam mic. Yeah, I remember that. Oh god, ugh, yuck. I'm sorry for that, by the way. I just needed to record. I was so desperate to record. I'm sorry for how slowly I talked too. Okay, the picture. Just wondering, what would be the benefit of the government modifying everyone's genetic code? And then someone replied, as Black people, genetically, we are stronger and smarter than everyone else. We are more creative. On December 21st, our real DNA, in caps, will be unlocked, and the majority will be able to do things that we thought were fiction. Learn who you are as people. They want to make us average. And it's like, oh man, dude. This was an event, man. This was, like, an event. Basically, the point of this tweet was, like, yeah, like, people took this tweet and ran with it, and, like, basically the message they got from it, like, Black people specifically, because obviously it's talking about Black people, right? It's talking about, yeah, the message they got and ran with was, like, on December 21st, something special is gonna happen. It's some special holiday, and Black people are gonna get superpowers. And that was probably just one of the funniest freaking things I've ever seen on Twitter, man. Of just it was just one of the funniest things, man, of just people being like, I have superpowers or something. Like, it was people memeing it up, man. It was so good. It was like, oh man, such a freaking, yeah, I don't know. I mostly like engage with it like on Reddit, of just like people posting tweets on Reddit. But like, no man, that was a special time. That really was a special time. Any other Twitter moments in 2020 and 2021 that like pre me doing the Twitter segment I forgot to talk about? There was like this music journalist called Eve Barlow, and then people made fun of her for like being kind of racist, calling her Eve Fartlow. She had like a right-wing grift or something. I don't know. Like anything else in 2020? Just a lot of God, dude. Was 2021? No, the Turning Red stuff I talked about. Yeah, the the animated atrocities guy. Oh God, why can't I say Mr. Enter's name? Mr. Enter and frickin' Turning Red criticism. That was 2022. Anything specific to 2020 and 2021? Was the bad art friend? I think that might have been pre-pandemic. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know like what like book tang what like yeah, I wonder what the book drama was like in 2020 and 2021. Oh man, I don't know. It's too different of a time, man. But yeah, I guess yeah, one of the special things, man. I'm glad this tweet prompted this. It was just such like a wild moment, man. I don't know. I think the Alabama riverboat brawl was the Montgomery brawl was like somewhat reminiscent of it, where it was just like seeing a community come together and just celebrate something like and meme about something collectively and like have it all be so damn funny, like yeah, like those are the moments, man. Those are the moments where like, no, this site is alive, man. This site, it is alive. Not when people are tweeting about it's dead. It's like, please don't do that. Just celebrate the freaking special moments of this site, okay? Celebrate the special moments and come to this site and tweet about it so I can freaking talk about it in a Minecraft video. So yeah, there you go. Someone tweeted, bisexual women will be like, I love that my BF is a little fruity. And it's just a normal straight guy who has sort of a goofy Teeter Kid vibe. Oh, man. I don't know what made me want to read this tweet. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Teeter Kids, I don't know about, yeah. I mean, like, look, man, yeah, we all know, like, we all know, like, scene kids in high school, teeter kids in high school, drama kids in high school. Whatever you want to call them, right? Like we know the stereotypes associated with them, right? I mean, like, Becky Albertalli didn't make freaking, like, Simon and, like, Abby, whatever. Like, he didn't make that entire friend group in the teeter department for no reason, right? Like, just saying. I don't know. Yeah, not my place to freaking make too many comments beyond that, but I don't know. In terms of Teeter Kids, yeah, I guess I forgot to mention another artist I've been listening to. Fun, you might have heard of them. Yeah, they are like a band, Nate Ruiz, Jack Antonoff was in the band. We Are Young featuring Janelle Monáe. No, the album before that, Aim and Ignite, man. That, I don't know, man. All the Pretty Girls, and was it Walking the Dog? I Wanna Be the One. The Gambler, which was featured, which was like listed in like Since You've Been Gone, the Morgan Matson book. I tweeted about that, right? After listening to it for the first time, it's like Emily was like running to like this kind of ballad type song. Like, wow, what? Huh? She put that on her running playlist? Yeah, I don't know. I guess like Teeter Kid just reminded me I wanted to talk about fun. Yeah. And like I really do, it's weird. I wouldn't think I would be into an album that's so like, this is just like Teeter Kids making an indie rock album, right? This is like Teeter Kids making freaking music. Like the most freaking like oh man, I don't know, man. Just the instrumentation on it and like the vocal performances Nate Ruiz is doing on it. Yeah, I don't know. It really is kind of growing on me. Yeah. I guess I could put it as like a top like discovery I made this year. I guess like that album in particular. Yeah. So, do I have any other points? I don't know. Can I talk about Boy Genius? I don't know. Yeah, cool. I guess that they probably fit into this too. This has been a better Twitter segment than I expected. I don't know. I think this is like somewhat of a better Twitter segment. I don't know. I need to find ways to artificially improve it. Okay, not artificial intelligence, but somehow. Man, that would be interesting. Just like go to ChatGPT and be like, create like a bunch of tweets I could read out for a Twitter segment. I don't do that, but anyways, I guess since it's so freaking easy to use these for the Twitter segment, another one. What opinion about introverts will have you like this? And it is Finn with the swords pointed at him. The classic, the freaking like the Jordan ones of freaking this type of post. And then as an introvert myself, I guess I think so. I don't know. I guess let me go through a few quotes. The top one says, "We don't always have enough social battery to respond to everyone. Kaya, don't take it personally if I reply after a day or two, or not at all. If di naman kita kakikala or close." I butchered that so bad, man. I butchered that so bad. He was speaking Tagalog in there. Should I try again? Okay, yeah. I guess. Don't use your being an introvert as an excuse for being an awful person. And then someone said, "You're not an introvert, you're just poor. Day/week can be talkative, friendly, and sometimes loud as hell, all while wanting to go to F home." True, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's kind of like me being at concerts, It's kind of like I enjoy it while I'm there, but I do think like, yeah, I want to go home after this, right? I'm never really like, I don't know. I always think about getting home after an event. I don't think there really is any time I'm at any sort of event like that where I'm like, where I don't think about going home at some point. Yeah, it's all, that's the thing, that's the time, so I can do more of these, man. I wish I weren't shy. LOL, being extroverted seems to be much more fun. I don't necessarily think so. I don't know. Extroverted in terms of, I mean, like, you can be introverted and be around people. Yeah, like, I don't think being around people is draining. It's more just like, if you were to ask me, like, what do I prefer? Yeah, I would prefer not being around as many people, It doesn't mean that you don't like meeting new people. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole scale. It's a spectrum, We've learned this, right? None will just be at home chilling while you run your mouth. Lacking social skills or being antisocial is an introversion, by the way. Why is it such a big deal when people are quiet? Should be the other way around. Why are you so loud? That's a classic thing introvert. Yeah, people have said, like, it's like, why are you talking so much? Why are you so loud? Yeah, but I don't think it should be like that. I think, like, as quiet people, you should appreciate the loud people, It takes less of a focus away. But I guess, like, it could also take some of, like, I guess if you're in a conversation and you want to speak up more, like, the loud person always freaking steals your thunder or something. I don't know. And to me, like, I'm more appreciative of people who can freaking carry a conversation, I think I'm doing a decent enough job of carrying this Let's Play. That's not a Let's Play, but, yeah. Everyone tells us to go out, speak, and leave the comfort zone like it's the default. Well, why can't you be silent for a few minutes, chill out, and actually make the zone comfortable for us too? Haha. Yeah. I am somewhat of a thing associated with that. Everyone tells us to go out. Yeah. Everyone tells us to leave our comfort zone. Yeah. Yeah, I might have written something about that. when I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. I don't know if it's any good. I don't know. It's like this short story type of thing. I don't know. I feel like there might be a point where I'm like, I don't care, man. I'll just share it. I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to it. I feel like, it's a thing. But I don't know how I'll share it, though. In terms of, like, writing, I know. Yeah, I've been thinking. I think how I talked about December being a time where I like take things I've been putting on the back burner, mostly like shows I want to watch and movies I want to watch, or like stuff like that. It might be time to like reactivate something. It might be time to go back to something I haven't done in a while. I don't know. I have to stop teasing it and just do it, man. I really have to stop, Yeah. Okay, I guess this will be the last one. For the introverts in relationships, being an introvert is not an excuse for you to not mingle with your significant other's family and friends. Yeah, you have to make an effort to establish a connection with your significant other's loved ones, even if it drains you or makes you uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just family in general, right? It's like it's not the fact, it's not the fact that you don't love your family or appreciate your family. Well, if it's okay to not love or appreciate your family if that situation isn't good, right? Or unhealthy or abusive or toxic. But yeah, like that's the thing. It's again, like at family gatherings, I'm like, I kind of want to go home. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I can be completely honest about it. Recently, this Thanksgiving, I was like, it's the same thing, right? I'm just like, I'm here. I'll eat a bit of food and then I'll just hang out for a little bit. But at the end of the day, I kind of want to leave. Like that's basically like how it goes. I don't know. I might have also written like a tiny little vignette sort of thing when I was taking a creative writing class, like 4 years ago at this point. I might have also written like a little thing related to like Thanksgiving and like family and like complicated relationships with that. I might have. I don't know. But anyways, I guess that's basically the Twitter segment and the episode. Anything else I want to talk about? Anything else I want to talk about? The last chance before next part. And like I think there's probably a decent chance next part could be the last one, but I don't know. I probably want to get closer to 100 as possible. So yeah. Anyways, I'll be sure to upload more. At least this won't be the last upload of the year. I'll have at least like one more part of Persona going up. Yeah. And maybe I'll finish that 5 dates game. So yeah, watch out for that in the near future. And if anyone is concerned about what I do beyond this channel, I might be wanting to do something related. Might be wanting to do something outside of this channel soon. But I don't know how soon. I don't know. I should stop teasing things. Anyways, thank you so much for watching if you've gotten this far, and see you on the next episode.